Here's how I married my ex-fiance's best friend. My ex-fiance and I, we'll call him Devin. Devin and I went to the same church. We had known each other for a long time. I knew his family. So we eventually started talking and got closer, hung out one-on-one a few times to see if the vibes were there, and they were there enough for us to eventually start dating. Meanwhile, my now husband, we'll call him Casey, he was also going to the same church and same young adults ministry, so he was around. I didn't really know him, but he was there. Devin and I probably dated, I don't know, I've probably blocked it out, but for a year or something, and then we got engaged. Devin was in university, a Christian university. I had gotten a house for us to eventually he would move into after we got married, and it was right across the street essentially from where his school was. We had played around with the idea of Casey, my husband, moving in with us after we got married, which is crazy to think about. Well, with this Christian university thing, he started to change some of his beliefs about women in the church. The conversation changed a lot, which caused us to have a lot of different disagreements. I didn't agree in the same direction that he was going. Anyway, so we just eventually kind of came to this head where we were hanging out one night, and it had been months of us what are we gonna do? He's like, you need to believe in this stuff. And I was just yeah, I just don't. So how's that gonna work? So one night we were talking, and again about this whole differences and whatever, and I just straight up asked him, I said, I feel like you're willing to lose me over all of these beliefs. This man, Devin, he looked right in my eyes and said, I am. So with a quickness, I pulled out that ring and I tried to hand it to him. I had to open up his hand and put it in there because he wouldn't open his hand. And I said, if you're willing to lose me over all of these beliefs, then here's the ring back. And because my now husband, Casey, was in the loop of all of the things that were going on between us, I ended up calling him and telling him, hey, we met, I'm just so confused. He was really a good sounding board because he knew our situation and he had known me for a really long time. So it was kind of a good close friend that knew both of us. But before I could solidify, close all the doors with Devin, my ex-fiance, my now husband and I, Casey, had a friend's birthday and we both decided to go. We showed up separately, whatever, but we went to this little pub bar thing. And when I say things changed overnight, literally, Casey walked in the club, he came up to me and he's like, oh my gosh, you look so hot in that dress. We were friends. Okay, we were friends. We were not subtle hinting, sliding things, no. So when he came in and was oh my gosh, you look so hot. Sit next to me, let me get you a drink. All this stuff. I was where's this coming from? But I did, realized that the dynamics were different that night. So while Casey and I were watching a movie, we really hadn't ever made a move on each other or anything because we were seriously just friends. But when I say this man reached over and put his hand on my leg, he was like, girl, your skin is so soft. And we were cuddling on the couch, and it was very sweet, but also kind of awkward because we had not shared how we feel about each other. Not a single word was said prior to this holding hand interaction situation. But we finished the movie, it was super late, and I was I need to go to bed, let me walk you out. And he's like, okay, amazing, walk me out, girl. And we were walking out right before we got to the door, and he stopped me and grabbed my shoulders and was like, hey, I just want you to know, I'm so grateful for the surprise party you threw me. And then he literally grabbed my face and kissed me. And mid-kiss, all I could think was, I'm kissing Casey. It was such a weird foreign dynamic from literally being engaged to his best friend to us not even sharing that we have feelings, but we were kind of putting out the vibes. And then literally we're kissing. So after Casey worked the next day, he came over and he sat me down and we had a whole conversation, and he was like, listen, I know where you've been at. I know you were disengaged. I realize that. So I'm not trying to play with your heart. If I'm gonna date you, I'm gonna marry you. And I really need you to get this timeline because we literally, in the matter of 3 days, We were friends, hadn't shared any feelings. The next day, we're kissing in front of my door. To then he comes over the next day and tells me, if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna marry you. Okay, that was in 3 days. Talk about whiplash. So we agreed that night that we were going to date and make it official. And it was so crazy because I think this was like 6 months after I had broken off the engagement. So it's not that much time.